Hello, my name is Sophia Wang. I'm a fourth-year applied linguistics major and disability studies minor, and I am hearing.
Hello, my name is Monique Sims. I am a fourth-year sociology major and disability studies minor, and I am deaf.
Today, we will discuss our research and process of expanding UCLA's American Sign Language and Deaf Studies program.
Deaf history, like disability history, is no stranger to stigma and discrimination. For example, the man who invented the first practical telephone, Alexander Graham Bell, was a known eugenicist and oralist, meaning he believed that deaf people should go to speech therapy and learn to read lips over sign language. Oralist thinking led to the 1880 passage of a preference for the teaching of oral communication over signing in deaf schools, which left many deaf teachers without jobs. Additionally, Bell feared the creation of a deaf race and created policies to prevent deaf people from socially gathering, opposed deaf marriages, and supported the sterilization of deaf women. This brief history lesson is important as it is just one example of the many ways that the deaf community has been historically oppressed. Although this example exists at the end of the 19th century, there continues to be a large societal ignorance and lack of awareness towards the deaf community today. From recognizing this history of oppression and the continuation of discrimination and ignorance towards deaf people, it is our responsibility as higher education scholars to acknowledge, dissect, and dismantle these systems to create a more inclusive community and society.
Another reason to study deafness is its richness in culture. In fact, according to Devlinger 2005 and Robinson and Adam 2003, the deaf community has played a large role in the creation of the cultural model of disability, where culture, identity, community, and worldview embraces disability rather than rejecting it. For example, many deaf people do not consider themselves disabled or that deafness is necessarily a disability. Instead, they view themselves as a linguistic and social minority. For instance, if a deaf person were at a deaf event or at a friend's dinner where everyone signs and is accommodated, are they really impaired or disabled? Therefore, not only should we care about deaf history, studies, and sign languages to better understand the deaf community and push for a more enlightened and progressive society, deaf studies is important to the study of culture, identity, disability, social minorities, and social justice that can benefit many fields of study and students alike. For our project, one of our main theoretical frameworks is the cycle of liberation by Bobby Harrow. The cycle of liberation describes the pattern of events that can lead those who are seeking paths for creating social change and liberation from oppression. In this case, liberation disregards socialized roles, meaning that both the targeted and privileged groups may join the cycle and break free from their roles in order to work together. This applies towards our diverse perspectives as Monique and I hold targeted and privileged roles respectively in regards to deafness and disability. And although our cycle of liberation at the beginning stages are different, our desire to build community, coalesce, create change, and maintain that change are similar. The cycle of liberation grants hope and optimism that systemic change is within our reach, and together we can achieve it. This sentiment is the underlying motivator for our project, that those with diverse perspectives can come together and create liberation in our society.
Now we ask, how can this be achieved? The answer is education. It is imperative to educate students as we inherit the working force, as well as teachers and faculty, as they hold the power to shape the thinking and minds of their students. Increased education and increased awareness can help bridge the gap between the deaf community and the hearing and create a more harmonious and understanding world. So what can UCLA do? As of today, the existing ASL program at UCLA consists of an ASL 1 through 6 language series during the year, an intensive summer language program, and one disability studies class that incorporates deaf study. There is also currently only one professor who makes up this department, Benjamin Lewis, who can only teach around 40 students at one time, therefore limiting the number of students who are able to learn ASL. What we want as the team leading this expansion are more deaf ASL teachers and therefore increasing the number of students able to learn ASL, as well as establish the ASL and Deaf Studies minor and future major.
So for this research project, our methods are data collection through both surveys, interviews, and record reviews. One survey targeted UCLA students to gauge student support and desire for the expanded program, and another targeted the deaf community to gain their support as well as any thoughts or concerns they had. Our informational interviews involved the UCLA faculty body, including deans, professors, and other administrators. We presented them with our arguments as well as our data from our surveys, and they provided us feedback and advice on how to move this project forward. Our third method, record reviews, will involve finding existing faculty members that are pursuing work on sign languages / deaf studies and assemble them to comprise the new department and create the minor. This is a work in progress.
Here are the results of our surveys. UCLA students, deaf college students, multiple UCLA departments such as linguistics, disability studies, and American Sign Language, and UCLA faculty are all in support of expanding the ASL program at UCLA. In this image, we can see that in the survey with over 1,000 student respondents, over 95% of students were in favor of additional ASL classes, and almost 600 were interested in an ASL minor. In addition to talking with the student body and the deaf community, we also had informational interviews with UCLA Deans Alexandria Stern and Adriana Gavin, the Assistant Dean Lee Harris, the Director of Humanities Barbara Van Noydstam, and Professors Kaylin Salone and Benjamin Lewis. During these meetings, we presented them with the desire to expand the ASL and Deaf Studies program, to which they provided us support and information to move forward, one being to find faculty on campus to help create this new department.
For our concluding statement, it is our responsibility to dismantle systemic oppression. This expanded program can aid the cycle of liberation as well as benefit UCLA by challenging students and faculty's worldviews, creating a more open-minded, compassionate, and inclusive campus, and increasing awareness, especially to those who will be working with deaf or hard of hearing people. Thank you, and here is our works cited.